Okay, I am so sorry, kids. I forgot to hit record, but they're writing down how many goals they want to accomplish in the next 4 months. I have to record for our kids that are not. Okay. I'm not going to ask you to share all of them. Hudson, give me one goal that you wrote down.
Running better programming.
Running better programming. Oh, learning better programming. That's a good goal. That's a really important thing to learn in our society today, is learning better programming. I like it. Thea.
Become a full-time investor.
You want to learn investing and become a full-time investor.
I've actually already started investing a little bit in the stock market, but I want to start doing it more.
Impressive. Impressive. I took a class on that. It made things make sense for me. Josephine?
Math.
Get better at math. Very good. Mackenzie?
To either go to Silver Mountain, which is on your way to Silverwood, or the lagoons, or to go to Moraine Shoes.
Okay, so is Silver Mountain outdoors like the lagoon? Okay, because I was like, we are going into winter. Are these doable?
Silver Mountain is indoor. It's like a hotel.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yes, it has a big water park. Okay, cool. I remember. Yeah. It's in Kellogg, Idaho.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Totally got it. All right. Who's ever heard of the acronym SMART goals? Who knows what acronym means? I better ask you guys that. You know what acronym means? You guys ever heard that? So COVID, right? COVID is an acronym for the fancy name for coronavirus identification, and then it goes -219, but it's been shortened to COVID, right? So an acronym is just something that's short that explains a bigger name or a bigger concept. Does that make sense now? So have you ever heard of the acronym or the name called SMART goals? Anyone?
Yeah, I did
Yeah?
it in my last school.
Okay, you did it in your last school. So you guys can help me with
And we
this.
also did this for our land project for 4-H. We did SMART goals.
It works, doesn't it? It helps break your goals. So choose one of your goals and we're gonna walk through this, okay? Who remembers what S stands for? Oops. What's that?
Your phone knows.
Yeah, my phone dinged. Sorry about that. Who knows? Do you remember what S stands for? Anyone? It means specific. So S means your goal needs to be specific. The goals that you guys shared, those are very specific. So you've already taken care of the S, right? They weren't random, right? They're like, I hope to go to this place. I want to learn more programming, right? I want to be a full-time investor. I want to get better at math. Those were specific. That's good. M is for measurable. Okay, so what we would do on the measurable side is we kind of identified part of it. I said in the next 4 months, right? Another way to measure, make things measurable, is, what's that?
Like achievable.
Achievable, right? So rather than just saying, I want to learn more programming, like, oh, I want to learn this program in this many days or in this many weeks, right? I want to go to Silver Mountain by over Thanksgiving, right? How would I do that? You start measuring, you start breaking out, oh, I need to earn this much money, right? Oh, this program costs this much to buy, right? What type of investing? Are you gonna do options? Are you gonna do straight investing? You know, what market are you gonna do? Are you gonna do futures? That sort of thing, right? Math. Well, what math class are you in, right? Oh, right now I need to get better at fractions. I need to get better at decimals. I need to get better at, you know, whatever you're learning at. And I plan on doing that by spending an extra 15 minutes a day looking at some YouTube videos that are going to teach me how to do that, right? See how those are all become more measurable? So measurable usually means time, and getting even more specific, it's about time, a time limit or a time frame, right? And then you want to get specific on how you're going to do it, okay? Like I said, it could be YouTube video, or it could be figure out exactly what you want to invest in, or the exact program, or how much is it really going to cost to go to Silver Mountain, right? Like getting really, really detailed. Next one is attainable, right? So we hit on that a little bit with Hudson. How is that different from measurable, right? This is quantity. See how we put numbers here? This has quantity, right? A certain amount of numbers, a certain amount of hours, maybe a certain amount of money, or a certain name of a thing, right? Or attainable. If Thea said, I want to invest in the next 4 months $600,000, is that really attainable? Probably not. For most people, that's not attainable, right? But if she said, I want to make sure over the next 4 months I invest $400, is that much more, and it's actually much more attainable. That's what is actually can be done. That's what attainable means, all right? So it's what can actually be done. It also means breaking things down into steps. Okay, the R means relevant. Is it really, can you really learn programming in 4 months? No, I'm asking Hudson. Sorry, maybe I could, and maybe you could, but is that relevant? Is that actually truly doable? Like, could you really? Okay, that's what relevant means, right? Is it actually possible for your family to go to Silver Mountain in the next 4 months? Could that truly happen?
Yes, because my grandparents own Egbert Plumbing and Heating.
Okay.
And
But I mean, even like time frame, like looking at what needs to be done with your animals and with school.
probably not.
Okay, so that might be something you need to like, okay, what could we do instead? Because it's no longer relevant, right? Does that make sense? Okay, but you can always talk it over with your parents, say, is this relevant, right? They'll be like, dang, that's a great word you just used. Let's figure it out. You never know, parents, when you use big words on them. Okay, your goal, is it truly relevant? Like, when you say, I'm gonna get better at math, is that truly possible to get better at math in 4 months? It is, so it's relevant, right? Your last one is time bound. And yes, we've already talked about time with measurable and attainable, but once we go and we do all these other things where we define it clearer, we get super specific, we figure out how we're gonna do it, we make sure that it's attainable and is it truly doable? Like, is it really relevant? We have to then get down into itty bitty increments. Like I was telling you, we mentioned with math, I'm gonna spend an extra 15 minutes every day looking at how to go on and asking permission to go onto YouTube and say, I'm gonna watch this math video in decimals. I still don't quite get it. Right? Because learning from other teachers is helpful, right? Everybody says things the same way in different ways, right? Same thing in different ways. So that would be a very time-bound thing, extra 15 minutes. Programming, right? Similar thing. I'm gonna spend an extra 20 minutes just on this one program that I want to learn better, right? Time-bound. Tomorrow, I'm gonna sit down with my parents and say, is it relevant for me to think that we could possibly go to Silver Mountain, right? That would be a time-bound goal, right? Investing, right? Every day, I'm gonna make sure that I jump on and I look to see what is happening on the market and make adjustments accordingly. Every day for 30 minutes, right? See how that all comes together, the last T. So you guys need to write down specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. Okay, so make sure you keep those down as notes, all right? Because your homework is gonna need these. Right, so make sure you have those in your notes. Because next thing we're gonna learn is about habit changing. And I'm gonna send you guys a video from YouTube for you to watch on habit changing, okay? Just to help you with your homework, all right? And let me know when you guys are done with this, okay? So when I need you guys to write something down, I'll start putting a star by it. Does that sound fair? That way you'll know you need to write it down. Does that sound like a good plan? Okay, awesome. So here's my very imperfect picture of a chain, right? We all know what chains look like, right? Think of one of the big metal clunky chains, right? Have you guys ever seen those? Like the links are about this big and then they loop like this. It's super strong, right? And sometimes you can throw one end on one truck and throw the other end on another truck and it will pull, right? This is how we used to do it when I was young. We didn't have these really cool stretchy come along nylon fabric things that were super strong. So habit chaining, if we're trying to form a habit, right? And we're using a chain, what is it about these? It goes loop to loop, right? So if you start on one loop, it connects to the next loop, which connects to the next loop, which connects to the next loop. The best way to form a habit is by looping your goal. Okay, so let me see, what is one of my goals? Okay, one of my goals is, so I have a goal, well, here's one of my goals. One of my goals is to get back in shape, because when we went into quarantine, I used to be in really great shape, okay? I could run 6 miles, I was lifting weights, everything, I was in really good shape, right? Quarantine happened, couldn't go anywhere, I still walked, but I couldn't lift weights at the gym, right? And honestly, I just kind of ate a lot and I gained weight. I lost weight, then I gained, but now I'm really out of shape. I'm not as strong as I used to be, right? So my first goal is to get in shape. Okay, is that specific enough? Get in shape? What does that mean? Get in shape. How can I make that more specific?
You can like say what you're going to like do to get in shape.
Okay, so what should I do to get in shape?
Workout.
Okay, but what should I do to work out?
Run.
Okay, I could start running again. What else? If I run, what's getting in shape? My legs are getting in shape, my lungs are getting in shape, my heart's getting in shape. What happens with my arms? You really get in shape with your arms when you run?
No.
Not so much. So what do I need to do for my arms? Maybe my back
Lift weights.
and my abdominal muscles. I need to lift weights, or I need to start doing push-ups and sit-ups, right? So I also need to either lift weights or we'll call it calisthenics is the other word. Okay, run calisthenics, right? So we got specific, measurable. How can I make this measurable? So I'm gonna make my running measurable. Could I say every day I'm gonna wake up at 4 in the morning and run 6 miles. And then in the evening, after dinner, I'll lift weights for 2 hours.
Always.
Okay, so that's measurable, right? I put 4 a.m. We're gonna run 6 miles. After dinner, I'll lift weights for 2 hours, right? That's measurable. You can measure it, right? Attainable. Is this attainable? Not for me. I'm not going to wake up at 4 a.m. I wake up at 5 a.m. and I do my devotions, but I'm not going to wake up another hour early, and I'm not ready to run 6 miles. So I would need to adjust it, right? So I'm not going to do this, but as it is, every morning at 7:30, I walk my dog, right? So I'll change the time to 7:30. And I haven't ran, you guys, since April. So maybe I should start with 1 mile in the beginning. So it's becoming attainable, right? After I eat dinner, I just kind of want to watch a movie or read a book. Who else is with me? Maybe you guys aren't like that. That's what I like to do. So is it really attainable that after dinner I'm going to go lift weights?
No.
Not so much, right? So maybe after I run my mile, I lift weights. And is 2 hours attainable to lift weights? Think of your parents. Your parents have 2 hours in their day to lift weights. Most parents don't. Some do, but most parents. So maybe after my run, I lift weights for 20 minutes. That's kind of more doable. Yeah. See how it becomes attainable? Is this relevant? Would this goal be relevant? Yeah, it is relevant, isn't it? It's good to be active, to have movement. It keeps you healthy, right? Boost your immune system. If your immune system is boosted, are you likely to get sick? No. If you have a strong, healthy immune system, probably not going to get sick, right? Plus, you know, I like to hike. I like to do other things. This allows me to go have fun, like what we talked about in Montana history. Talking about all the great things that Western Montana lets us do: paddleboarding, hiking, mountain biking, all these fun things, right? If you're not in shape, it's hard to enjoy Western Montana, huh? So it's very relevant. Is it time bound? Did I put a time on here? I did. I could even get more specific, couldn't I, with my time? I could say at 7:30, I'm gonna run 1 mile in 12 minutes. That's my goal. My goal is being able to, you know, but again, that's 12 minutes. I hope I can run a mile in 12 minutes. If I can't, then I'm gonna have to rearrange this whole thing because I am really, really, really out of shape, right? What could I, 20 minutes, and I'll do, make sure my goal will be able to do 25 push-ups and 100 sit-ups. See how this becomes more time-bound and more relevant? Now that, so this is how you work on your goals, okay? This is called habit chain. So then what do I do? Well, the first thing I'm gonna do, the first link of my chain, will be to set an alarm, right? Because even though I'm already up, because I do get up at 5 in the morning, set my alarm for 7:30 to go running. What would be my next link? My next link would be set a timer for 12 minutes, right? Because I want to do that mile in 12 minutes, right? What's my next link? My next link. Oh, do I have weights at my house? Right? Get my weights out so that they're not hidden in the garage underneath a box or something like that. See how this is their chain. And then you go and then like, oh, okay, I'm gonna have, when I'm at home, I don't, all the rest of my family's working. So maybe I'll video myself, right? Because accountability, you guys know what accountability is? What's accountability? What does that mean, Hudson?
Like you're accountable for like what you're doing, like you wanna like, so people don't know that, like people know that you're not like just saying you're doing it, and so that you're like able to prove that you did do this, but not like.
That's what I was looking for. Having somebody else hold you to your goal, right? Able to prove it, right? So maybe I'm gonna video myself lifting weights to show my family, hey, I did do it, right? Hold myself accountable, right? So then see how it's linked? You start with one step, you link it to the next. How am I gonna do this, right? That's called habit chaining, all right? So your homework, now we go over homework, okay? So your homework, the first thing that you're gonna do is you're gonna choose out one of your goals that you wrote down. So put a star by it, okay? Choose a goal. And you're gonna set up a habit chain like this, okay? So it's gonna need to measure, like what you turn in, you're gonna be, it's gonna look a lot like this on your paper, okay? So you're gonna have, let's see this. I'll show you exactly how I want it to look, all right? and you're gonna turn it in on Jupyter Ed. All right, you can send it to me in Google Docs, you can send it to me in Word, you can send it to me in Jupyter Docs, whichever format you choose to use, okay? If you use Google Docs, remember to give me permission, okay, to open it up, because sometimes that happened last year. Kids would forget. All right, here we go. So you would have your name, okay? So we'll have Hudson, right? And then you're gonna give me your date that you started this. So let's say you go home and you start on this right away. Okay, Hudson? So you put 9/2/20 and then you go goal, right? And then you would put what your goal is. And then you put an S, an M, an A, an R, and a T. And you tell me, how is this goal specific, right? My goal, I will learn X, Y, Z program, okay? Period, because we want complete sentences, okay? How is it measurable? You're gonna tell me how it is measurable. This is measurable because, and you'll tell me how it's measurable, right? Is it attainable? This is attainable because, and you'll tell me how it's attainable. It's relevant. This is relevant. Tell me how it's relevant, right? And then the time it will take to do this goal. You're going to tell me the time. It's going to take an extra 15 minutes a day. It's going to take an extra half an hour a day. Every other day, I'm going to do this, right? So you're going to tell me that, okay? Then you're going to do the habit chain, okay? You're going to say the first thing you can do, draw me a picture. I'm okay with this. You can either draw me a picture of a chain, or you can do step 1, step 2, step 3. You can do it in steps, but you have to show me how you're going to start with something, right? XYZ program purchased, right? After you purchase it, well, then I got to download it. And then you find out it comes with training videos, right? Well, day 1 training video on September 4th, right? And so then you guys are gonna just break it down for me, all right? That is what I want homework to look like when you turn it in. Any questions about that? Do you guys have any idea why I'm making you write it out like this? Oh,
It's in this to do on paper, handwritten, or?
No, you don't. I would prefer it to be in some format on your computer. Like I said, it can be a PDF, it can be a Word doc. Jupyter Ed has documents that you can do it on. You can do it on Google Docs, anything like that. Okay, and then you turn it in on Jupyter Ed. You'll send me the link. Does that make sense? Okay. Ooh, my spelling is pretty bad. Sorry about that. So that's what I would like you to do. The next thing I would like you to do, who has a day planner? Okay, so what,
My mom.
your mom ordered one. So grab another piece of paper, okay? Your mom ordered one. And so you'll see, can I borrow one of your guys' day planners?
Here.
Okay, I'm not having you do an app on a phone yet. The reason I'm having you guys write these things down, because it's been scientifically, factually proven that when you write things down, you learn better, right? So that's why we're not using an app on a smartphone, right? Because once you learn how to do this, I'll let you transition to an app. Okay, See this nice day planner? Right? Cool. So here we are, Wednesday, right here. What I would want you to do is starting tomorrow, okay, and this is something you're gonna turn in online by taking a picture with your mom's smartphone. You guys, does your mom or dad have a smartphone? Yeah, that's a smartphone, yeah. And if, do they all have a camera on their phone? Okay, it's not a flip phone, okay, this is gonna work. So tomorrow, starting tomorrow, every 2 to 3 hours, okay, you're gonna go, what did I just do with my last 2 or 3 hours? And then you're gonna write it down, okay? So you would write down in there, and this is where you'll do it on your piece of paper, right? So on your piece of paper, you'll put the date at 9/3/20, and then on here, whether it's in your day planner or whether it's on your piece of paper, you're gonna go 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. You're gonna go, let's see, woke up, did chores, I don't know what you guys are gonna do, okay? Did chores, ate breakfast, started school. Okay. And then let's say the next entry is from 10 a.m. to noon, right? Because you're gonna have lunch. You'd be like, oh, did English and math, eating lunch, right? And then your next entry, let's say it's 12 to 3. You go finish lunch. Let's say you did, what are some of the other classes you guys are taking? Montana history, let's say Montana history, math, and then you played outside, right? And you do this all the way until you go to bed, right? So I don't know when you guys go to bed. Let's say you go to bed at 8. You do this until you end at 8 o'clock. So I want you to do that starting tomorrow for every single day. Why do you think we're doing this?
So that way we can keep better track of our time. And
So
what we're
you
doing.
actually know what you're doing with your time, right? Like I had a kid last year. This is how much it helped them. I had a kid last year and he couldn't figure out why he was always late on his homework, right? He did 1 week of this and he did just this thing. All of a sudden he realized, I am playing way too many video games. Video games are not bad, right? But he was spending 6 hours playing video games and he didn't even realize it. So all he did was like, I'm only gonna play 2 hours of video games a day. Then he started getting all of his homework out. That's why we're doing this. Okay? That makes sense? Okay. Cool. Any questions? Okay, one last thing. If you do have any questions, don't hesitate to email me over DuperEd. I will always get back to you guys within 24 hours. Like Josephine knows, because I explained this in our last class, I do have another business, right? I usually get to you sooner than that, but just in case things are feeling a little wonky inside of my other business. Okay? All right, cool. We will see you guys next week. Okay?
So is it lunch now?
It is lunch now.
Just making sure because Mom wrote down my schedule because I didn't have paper. She wrote it down and she wrote it down wrong.
Yes, it is lunch now. Do you want me to pull your schedule up real quick and you can match it against your
I
mom's?
think I understand my schedule now.
Okay, all right, because I can do that for you.